And then this one is joining.
Oh, cool.
Awesome. All right, hello. I am Amazon Live. I am excited to join you today. We're going to be talking about grilling, and welcome to summer. It's really fun to be able to share a little slice of life with you. We've got the big green egg fired up outside. We're doing some grilling out there, and started with a brisket a few hours ago, and then we're going to have some fun with some steaks and some hamburgers and all kinds of good stuff. So summer is here, so here we go, right? I am going to just join you here so I can answer any questions that you might have. We've got a lot of Polder products that are in this hour, and that's because we have formed a great friendship with Polder over the years. Darren, who you'll see when he gets here, he's going to be doing some grilling because that's really his zone. Really formed a great relationship with the guys at Polder, the family at Polder, years and years ago. So we use a lot of their equipment, not just for grilling, but for household gadgets and tools and all kinds of things. So that's what we're going to be using for all of our utensils and all of our goodies today. So as we get started, I am going to just do a little food prep because we've got those grills fired up, but I'm going to just grab the hamburger and salmon out of the fridge, and Jamie's helping me out on that camera. A little shout out to Jamie. All right, let's see. A little hamburger, a little sausage. I don't think those actually need much prep. Let's just leave that. And salmon. So we'll get these all ready to go. I like to use Dale's, so I'm going to use a little Dale sauce on there. Now, Darren probably has his own ideas for some of the things that he likes to add, but since he is multitasking today, I asked him at the last minute to join me for this live stream because he's such a more of a master griller, certainly, than I am. So, all right, so on salmon, I like to have butter. Butter's always the magic ingredient, isn't it? And I like to use that McCormick's spice. Let's see. There's no way I can be out of it. It's my favorite. Let's see. Okay, we'll go with this one. Okay, other favorite McCormick's. Let's do butter first. Got a little butter. And I'm going to show you what we have out on the grill. Lots of thermometers so you can get just the perfect temperature as you're grilling, which is so important, of course. And then we also have lots of fun gadgets, which is great for grilling. Because, you know, you gotta have the tools of the trade, right? If you're gonna do this, you gotta have your timers, you gotta be able to set everything just right. Or, you know, sometimes you can just wing it and start that way too. So I think when it comes to grilling, you know, there's so many of us in all different varieties, right, of levels of skill. But it's great to be able to just start where you are, figure it out, learn a little bit along the way, and that's how life goes, right? So, all right, so put a little butter on that salmon, and then we'll go check on that brisket. I would love to answer any questions that you might have as they come up about Polder today, and or any of the grilling as best I can. And a little bit more butter there. All right, let's let that sit. I'm gonna hop back on here and say hello. Come on outside. All right. Welcome to our backyard. This is where we spend the summers, and it's really a lovely place to be. So I'm gonna just extend that umbrella and give us some shade because it is nice and sunny here in Florida today. I have no idea what the temperature is right now, but it's hot. So let's take a look what we're doing over here. So this is the brisket that we started earlier, and I'll show you what's great about this particular thermometer from Polder is that you can have just the right temperature. So it tells me inside the grill that we're looking here at it just fell to 224, and it needs to be at 225, in between 225 and 250. Can you see that? Let me see if I can block it for you at the shadows. So now what I'm going to do is we are going to adjust the grill to change the air temperature so that we're able to get that to stop beeping at us, but most importantly, it's beeping at us to tell us that that temperature has fallen out of the range where we wanted it. So it'll take, oh, look at that. How about that? Popped right back up to 225, and all I did was adjust the airflow from the top. We should do that from the top to the bottom. But that brisket in there is set at just the right temperature so that it's going to be just the right level of cooking so that it's nice and tender and juicy and doesn't get hard and tough. And then later on we're going to fire up the Weber over here and do some grilling for you there with hamburgers. So chicken, I'm going to bring that in and see what we need to do there. And by the way, as we kick this off, let me introduce you to one of my favorites. It's the Big Green Egg Cookbook. So in here you can find all kinds of great recipes. I'll show you Asian pork ribs. I haven't tried all of these. This would be a little bit out of my zone, but one day we could work up to that, right? The lemon infused Cornish game hens. I could do this, grilled tuna with salsa verde. So all kinds of fun things. Hey, how about that, sis? My sister's a vegetarian, so this is perfect. Vegetarian meals are in here as well. Shout out to Angie, my sister. I'm gonna go see her. Victoria and I are gonna be going to see her next week, so maybe we'll fire up her Big Green Egg while we're in Dallas. Okay, so I'm going to put that into the carousel for you. I think that's somewhere in our feed. Our thermometers are down there. Let's do Big Green Egg. There it is in that cookbook. So you'll see it highlighted in the carousel. Okay, let's grab the chicken. Back on in here. And we'll get this chicken ready. So we have been marinating this for quite a while. And this is going to be delish on the grill. All right. How about that? I just let it thaw in the sun. And it's great. Worked out perfectly. So, ooh, it smells so good. This is teriyaki. It's really nice. All right. There we go. Throw this right away. And boom. All right. I want to hear from you. What are you going to be grilling this summer? We did a poll on social, and it was really interesting the answers that people were coming up with. Some salmon, some burgers, some vegetarian. I love the idea that it was a nice big mixture of lots of veggies too on the grill. So all kinds of fun ideas. We can share some recipes and learn something new, share with each other, right? So chicken is prepared here. Let's get the salmon going. I'm gonna put spices right onto that salmon. And I think we might even use those planks, we'll see. All right, so a little seasoning there. Get our butter here. And now let's take you on a tour of some of the other products that we're gonna feature today. So I'm just gonna let that sit for a minute. So out here, I'll show you some of the Polder utensils that we really enjoy. So obviously when you are grilling, you need to have those great tongs. What's great about the Polder tongs is that you have a nice secure grip, and they're able to grab a very large piece. And of course, when you're thinking about on the grill, you want to be able to have something that is perfectly balanced. And I love the little foot that's on here as well. So you have a nice design and display. You can see the edges, so it's really easy to grab things. And of course, Polder. So really simple, and cleanup is a breeze with these as well. So version 1, and of course, if you're going to be using the grill, you gotta have a grill mitt, right? So Polder with a grill mitt is a great item as well, because that's going to be a necessity when it comes to grilling. Okay, let's just see how we're doing over here with that brisket. Hey, hey, hey. So our temperature is up to 229, which is awesome because it needs to be between 250 and 225. So it's telling us the air temperature inside the grill. So you can see what happens here is one wire is going inside the grill, and that's telling us what the air temperature is here. And then the other wire, this is what we'll actually put into the brisket. Right now we don't need to because it's too soon, it's too early. We know that it's obviously not going to be the right temperature yet because it's only been in there for a few hours. But we'll put this one right, the green egg, which is awesome, so that you can get just the right temperature, so that you can get just the right succulence when it comes to your meat. So really important there. Love that. A couple of other things I can tell you about. So in the carousel, let me just pop that up for you. That's going to be, we put a few, there's the Polder mitt. If you're looking for a great grill mitt, just pop that one up for you. And then we have the button thermometers, which I'll share with you. But this one is the barbecue smoke thermometer. That's the one for $26. Great value, especially if you are just learning and you want to be able to have just that right temperature for the grilling. And then it comes along with, we kind of set out a few of our. So it's really cool that that thermometer can tell you so much. So whether you're making beef loin or brisket or prime rib or ribs or pork butt or pork loin, you get the idea, right? Pork shoulder or chicken or turkey, it's all right here. And all of the temperature, the gauge that you need is right there as well, the cooking temp. So I love that. It tells you, exactly the quick guide reference for what you want to cook, which is so great from Polder. So that's just one of the items. One of the items that we won't really be able to share with you too much during the day, but is going to be great for nighttime cooking. Okay, get ready. It's a grill light. So this is going to clip right onto your grill. And so if you are doing, nice little sunset grilling, obviously at noon Eastern time today, we're not going to have a whole lot of use for this, but I thought it would be something really handy, especially if you're thinking of something maybe for Father's Day, if he's already got all kinds of great grilling utensils. This is a great idea. Again, great value there. And I'll share it with you as well in our feed. There it is, the Polder clip-on light. Great item. Now, if you're cooking multiple items or grilling multiple items, the button thermometers are really fun as well, because these are going to be 4 individual button thermometers. But what this does, my first instinct was like, why do you need to have 4 of them, right? Well, what if you're cooking different types of meats or different types of things on the grill, and you don't want to cross-contaminate your food? So that's what this solution is all about. So you have 4 of them, and you can pop them right into whatever the case might be. It might be salmon, it might be steak, it might be hamburger, whatever the case is. You pop that in, but because there's 4 individual ones, they never touch each other, so the contamination doesn't cross-contaminate. Love that. And that's from Polder as well. So I'll show you here. Button thermometers. It's fun flipping through that carousel, isn't it? Button thermometer, there it is. Okay, so set of 4, so it should be highlighted for you. Now let's talk about the basting tools, because we're going to be using these in just a moment. This is terrific because with Polder, you're going to have not 1 but 2 attachments. So these are going to just pop off. Let's see. twist off, sorry, and then twist onto the other one. Now what's great about that is that now you can have one for when you are, you know, making your, you know, initial basting, doing, you know, your pre-sauce on there. But then you don't want to take that one that had the raw meat, right, and use it. So now you just switch them out and you've got two, which I think is genius. Polder thinks of everything, and that's why we just have been friends with the Polder family for so long, the company for so long, because they just really do set themselves to a level of excellence and really ingenious ideas like this one. I remember when we first met them years and years ago at a trade show, they had just won some awards for their dish racks. And because they have fold away ones, so if you live in a small area, anyway, I could go on a whole tangent about some of their innovations. We're not going to talk about any of that stuff today. I just, I think they do some really cool stuff. So, another thermometer coming up from Polder. If you are wanting to have a light on your, in the evening time, you've got the light here as well. I don't think I popped the batteries into this one. We just took them out of the packages. But again, great gift idea for dad as well. If he's a guy that's got everything, your choice in colors. And it is your thermometer with the built-in light. So again, great for nighttime grilling, just like we talked about with that clip-on grill light. Whoopsie, grill light as well. There's all our goodies that we were taking the tags off of things. All right, so I think we're in good shape there. And let me see if I can pop that up for you in. There's the Polder basting brush. So there you have it. Okay, let's get back to the kitchen and see how we're doing here. We're letting everything marinate. All right, burgers are looking good. Salmon is looking good. All right, chicken over here, marinating as well. So in some good shape there. All right, while we let that sit, we're gonna be looking to fire up the grill and get some things going. Nice and clean, gotta love that. Gotta start with a clean grill, right? And propane, we just filled up on. I think we should be good there as well. So I think I'll let Darren handle that when he gets here. So we're gonna have to give him a call and see when he's gonna come to fire up that grill for us. I'm going to just send him a little message and see if he's going to join us. Are you coming to grill with us? All right. So, what else do we need here? Looking good, looking good. We'll cut up a few little veggies to throw on that grill as well. Some baby carrots, that might be good. Maybe a little broccoli and a sausage. Just keep on rinsing those hands all the time, right? It could never be enough these days with all that's going on in the world. All right. So I like to use easy Slice knives. You know that if you follow me, if you have ever been in the kitchen with me before. They are a great set of knives, double serrated and super sharp. So I use those for almost everything. And we'll use those to cut up some veggies to go on the grill as well. We always have dedicated kitchen scissors. You always have that too. So they're always the ones that are around the food. Okay. I love grilled broccoli. I love grilled vegetable anything. So if you want to share recipes or ideas, I'd love that as well. Maybe we can even find something in that green egg cookbook. How about that for some veggies? All right, so he said he grabbed a couple steaks and he's on his way. Super cool. All right. Rinse off these veggies. Leftover wine from last night. Just saying. At least I left some in there. Oh. Okay, so with Easy Slice, what I love is that you are able, and I can add them to the stream if you're interested in them. You have, I think in the 3-pack, there's these 3, yellow, green, I think it's like 4-inch, 6-inch, and maybe 8-inch. So what's really cool about these, let me see if I can just add it to the live stream for you. Where did it go? Add, Easy Slice, search. Hey, there they are. So I'll add the 5-pack and the 3-pack, and we should be all set. Cool. Okay, so here's what I love about these. I usually use the little yellow one, but they're double serrated. Notice that they have the opening. How cool is that? So that you are able to have nothing stick to it, which I think is really cool. You've got a nice grip on the handle. The tang goes all the way through, so that means it's one piece of metal, which means it's much more long lasting. And if you are a little bit like I am, like 5'4" on a big poofy hair day, it's great to have them because you don't need to kind of lean into it. I don't know about you, but I'm cutting broccoli isn't that difficult. But if you're cutting something that's harder, like the other day I cut a watermelon with it, like just literally sliced right through. It's so simple and so easy to do. So it's just great to be able to have something literally, well, there you go, ta-da. Not the most even cut. But what's nice is whether you're cutting up celery or whether you're cutting up carrots or whether you're cutting up, something really thin like a little grape or a blueberry, they can go from a really strong grip to something. You want to come over here? Show you from this side. Come on over. So here's what we just cut up. But you can see that nice serrated edge with broccoli on it, sorry. Double serrated, so it's on this side as well. And what that does for you is it gives you that even cut. You know when you cut something and it's sort of askew to one side, it's sort of, leaning, like say a piece of cheese? Well, what happens is with the Easy Slice, you don't have that because you get that nice even cut straight through. And I'll show you, what's the best angle? I don't know how to, there. So that easy, right through. And it gives, to me, it feels like you're not applying as much pressure, which I love, right? Cooking should be about enjoying yourself in the kitchen. It shouldn't be about, trying to muscle, through anything that you're trying to chop or anything that you're trying to cut. So since we're doing a little prep time here, I'm gonna just put these veggies to the side and I'll just do some vegetable chopping so you can see just how much fun it is to use these. Okay, let's just do this. Obviously we'll go back and break up that broccoli a little bit more. And, ooh, maybe even baste that with whatever it is we might have in the refrigerator. Okay. Let me just grab a paper towel. All right. Let's see what else we have in here that I can share with you about the magic of easy slice. I don't have a chunk of cheese. However, I do have some carrots, some celery, some lime, some cucumber. So I'm gonna have Jamie, come on over on this side. Since I'm a right-handed, I'm gonna cut from this side so you can see it from that side, and you can see just how well those blades work. So first of all, let's do just some simple cutting here with some cucumber. Ooh, I really fit that nicely into that storage side. Okay. So let me just rinse this off. So, is this the right way? How did we do this before? How about that? So you can see how easy it is. I mean, it's not that difficult to cut a cucumber in general, but it's nice that it's nice and even. And I love that, really simple and easy cutting. So there's a little cucumber. Let's open up. And these are pre-cut, but I'll just chop them so you get an idea of what that's gonna be like. Because I think these are probably one of the most important things you can have in the kitchen. You've got to have a good knife set, right? It all starts right there when it comes to your food prep. So obviously we're not going to want to have that, right? So simple and easy to just drag it right through. And now you can have lots more healthy snacks. Victoria and I, my daughter who is 11, she and I are working on healthy eating and eating the rainbow. So this is going to be a great way to encourage you to eat the rainbow, right? All of those fun colors of the healthy foods usually come in the colors of the rainbow. So here you have it. We'll get rid of that little guy over there. And you can see nice, simple, and easy slicing. Hello, just like the name says. That one. So really simple. And what I love is that it's not all sticking to the blade. It's so easy because it's gliding right through. Because it's open here, it's lighter, it's easy to use. And by the way, also dishwasher safe, which I think is great. So you want to be able to, have things that have easy cleanup. I don't know about you, but cleanup's really not my thing, right? So if your cleanup is really not your thing, you can just put this right into the dishwasher and you're good to go. So there we saw a little celery. Let's see what else I can show you here as those steaks are about to arrive. Here we go. So again, carrots are not so easy, right? To cut through. I mean, these are baby carrots, so a little easier than the big ones. But again, you get the idea of just how easy it is, whether you're dragging it, whether you're pushing it through, which is a little more effort, right? Or whether you're dragging it, you can do that as well. So really easy when it comes to your food prep. And I love this because it encourages our family to eat more healthy foods, you know, to have more healthy snacks around, because it's not such a chore to have to cut that up. Years ago when we had au pairs living with us from overseas, it was such a treat because they would help us out in the kitchen and do a lot of this chopping and cutting. And it was really nice to be able to just enjoy healthy snacks and healthy food and healthy living. And I think so many of us are sort of recommitting to that these days. This is a great way to be able to make it simple and easy and let yourself do it. So right down to the very last one, and be careful on your fingers because they are super sharp. So you do want to make sure, but because that's so easy to use, even Victoria, who's 11, is able to use these for all kinds of cutting and chopping as well. Hi, honey.
Yeah.
Look who's here. Did you get steak?
I did.
Awesome. So, amazingly, we have the perfect temperature on the grill. You want to check it?
Yes, I
The
did.
brisket? Come on out here. The grill master has arrived.
Yeah.
My grill master has arrived. How about that? Look, I did good, right?
235.
Right there. So I've been keeping it the whole time you're gone. Perfect balance right in there. It went down to like 217 and it beeped at me, and so I adjusted the air and it came right back up. So
Awesome.
235. So it smells good.
Good.
Tell us what's in there.
We have a beef, or we're building a brisket, beef brisket, and it's been in there for now, what is it, 12:30?
Mm-hmm.
4.5 hours. Needs to cook anywhere between 8 to 10 hours. So that the way that brisket works is it's part of the breast of the beef, so it actually takes a little bit more for it to get tender. So you slow cook it at a low temperature for a long period of time, which will make it very tender. So
But the key is to get just the right temperature.
to keep it to the right temperature. And the one great thing about with this actually temperature gauge is it allows you to determine, first you get to select what kind of meat and what kind of thing you're cooking. So we selected the brisket. There's 3 ways to do it: a thin, a thick, or a pulled. Mm-hmm. So we selected the thick because that's our beef. And then it tells you...
Let me keep it out of the shadow so we can see the face of it. Good.
So then you have your outside temperature, and then what the temperature of the meat is. And we have another probe that will stick in the meat when we think that we're getting close, probably about 8 hours in. And then it tells you where the range right here of where you're supposed to be, between 225 and 250 for this. So we're keeping it within 235. It's a great thing about the green egg. You really just focus in on keeping it all locked in, keeping it sealed. Whether you're smoking or doing something like with the green egg's great for that, because it's all about airflow. And your airflow allows you to keep that temperature inside.
So I've been managing it.
You've been doing it.
You would be proud of me.
235, let's mark on.
We gotta fire up this grill. I
Easy to
prepped the hamburger and the salmon. Since that's your zone, I can do that. So we'll figure out the grill. All right, so we walked through some recipes from the Green Egg Cookbook and showed you some of our other gadgets from Polder. Now, let's keep on chopping away when it comes to easy slice, and I'll see if I can find a good veggie recipe in our Green Egg Cookbook. All right. So again, the thermometer, let me just bring it back up there for you in the live stream. There's an easy slice that we were talking about earlier. 2 different versions there. And then there's the Big Green Egg Cookbook, which we'll talk about. And then, okay, here is that smoker thermometer that we were just talking about. So it should be highlighted for you in the carousel now. Awesome. Hi.
Hi.
Okay, so we were doing some chopping.
Cool.
I put Dale's on the burgers. I put butter and some of McCormick's seasoning on the salmon, and the chicken I just laid out.
Perfect.
Good?
We're good to go.
Right.
And I'm going to do some steaks.
You want cutting board?
Seasoning board. We'll just open these up. Got 2-inch T-bone steaks. Like we're going to have people over. I'll have the butcher cut these up for us. Nice thick, nicely marbleized steaks for us.
What do you want? A big plate?
Sure. We do want a big plate.
What? 2 plates?
One big plate sounds fine.
Mm-hmm. I'll move my veggies over.
There's plenty of counter space.
You think?
Yes, there is. Isn't it good? Put it on this side. Oh, you're going to stay there?
I'll swap it over here.
Okay, so we stay here. So then it just depends on how you want to have this seasoned.
What are you in the mood for?
Well, actually, one of our friends, he is the head chef, ingredient maker for Kinder's now. So Tim Crehan, Chef Tim Crehan, who is an amazing man. So he has shared with us some of the Kinder spices, which are quite honestly pretty amazing. So
Should I look for them and add them to the live stream?
sure. So we could do a buttery steakhouse, we don't use prime rib, a brown sugar barbecue, a mild barbecue rub, a Callie's blackened rub. All of these are really delicious. Or a buttery steakhouse. Yeah, okay, buttery steakhouse. I like that one. I like that a lot. I like it a lot. Tequila lime, little something something. So we have a few to select from. So pick your flavor, pick your choice. What do you think?
Well, let me see if I can add them.
I don't care if you can add them or not. What do you want?
I want buttery.
Buttery.
We talked about that with the salmon. I wanted the butter on the salmon.
So sometimes what I like to do is add a little butter to it, and then it sticks a little bit more. So we have.
Hey, there it is. So I'm going to add it. There's the buttery steak must be popular because it was the first one that popped up.
Buttery's probably one of them.
So we'll do that.
So
There's blackened rub, mild rub. Let's see what else is in here. Mild barbecue. Cool. All right, so I'm just going to put those into the live stream so you can know exactly what we're highlighting for you. If we keep doing this around the house, then we'll have like 1,000 items in the live stream.
1,000 butter.
Yes.
So we're just gonna soften some butter real quick. So 2, I see 1,
Do a little cleanup.
and what I'll do is then we'll put some butter on it, then let the selected the butter set. So we'll pound that on, tap that on a little bit. Give it a nice little feel.
Do you want to do anything else with the burgers or the salmon? I just poured a little bit
So
right in the middle.
what I want to do with this is we'll put that on a plank, so a wood plank, and we'll cook it on the grill with the wood plank, which allows the wood plank, when it actually, it's almost like smoking it because it sits on the grill and then the salmon sits on top of that. So the flavors from the plank actually come up into the salmon, so you'll get that little woodsy kind of feel with it.
Okay, let's find that because I think we added that earlier. So add, oh no wait, let me just find it for you. There it is. Oh, oops.
Oops.
I think I highlighted it. I just have to highlight it. All right. Coming, there it is. Got it. All right.
Okay.
And there it is for you right there as well. So I'll show you where it opens up. There it is. Are these reusable?
So they are, as long as you don't, yeah, they burn. It's a wood, so it'll burn just like a wood if a wood could. When wood
So-
could, wood cut, chuck, chuck, if a wood could, chuck, chuck, wood.
A would check, all the wood he could check. If a woodchuck could check wood. Robust, sweet, smoky flavor. Grilling planks. There's 2 of them that are there, and then it tells you what you might want to use them for. Oh look, there's a little guide in the back too. Grilling plank directions. Soak the plank in water for at least 1 hour. Oh, whoops. We will have missed that one.
Well, you know what? Let's stick it in some water right now.
Sure. And then
because
heat the grill.
salmon only takes a little bit of time to cook.
Okay.
So where is our Polder stuff? Where is stuff?
It's probably in
And treasure hunt.
I don't think we've ever both had our hands in the same one.
There it is. There's
Another Polder product.
another Polder product, which is a great product. I like this product. This is
I can add it to the stream.
This is a strainer stopper. So what it allows you to do is if you're in here and you're doing cutting and whatever it is, you can allow that just to go like that. If you want to stop it, this just starts building it all up. And then when you want to drain it, because you've done everything in here, just push down and then it drains out the water. Just like that.
Okay, I put in Polder strainer, but it's not a strainer.
Actually, I
What
think
do we
there's
call
an
it, a
actual
stopper?
strainer stopper, I think is the name of it. The neat thing is, I think it actually has just patented. They patented this. A lot of their products are patented.
Yeah, we were talking earlier about how we met them.
Polder.
Because you've known them for a really long time, right?
I have. It's actually a family-owned company, run company. Been that way for the last 40 some odd years. Great family, great people. So.
And they do a lot of innovation when it comes to products, right?
They do. There's a gentleman, well, there's a whole team, but Kerry actually is one of the lead guys that does it. And he spends a lot of time just developing new products, designing new products, and it's neat because even the tongs that we use, those have patents on them. Some of the other products, and what it is it's all problem solving.
Mm-hmm.
So he's developed them over the years because he was trying to kind of solve his own issues. He couldn't find like the tongs, because that's just more recent that they did that. The tongs were developed, and what ended up happening was that everything was slipping through. So, but then he crossed it with kind of the surgical aspect of it. So he designed them to be more in line with what the surgical tools and designs are. So when he did it, he grabbed them and he said, "Here, let me try this." So.
And they do that with a lot of things, right? They have the award-winning dish rack that we saw at the home show. Was that last year in Chicago or the year before?
I think it was a year, well, yeah, last year, well, this past year it's been.
Well, there wasn't one.
There wasn't one. So, but yeah, I think it was 2 years ago they did that. Then they did the style station. And it's funny because you would think like for most companies, they only do like one specific category. They do a tremendous amount in the kitchen, in the bath, home grilling now. They did this whole line of grilling. And I'm adding liberally a lot of seasoning because what ends up happening is you add it and then when you put it on the grill, some of it kind of just falls off. So I know I'm not multitasking, just changing settings.
So we have this whole discussion going on about multitasking. We watched a TV show recently that was challenging if it's really true that you can multitask, is it possible? So interesting debate. The summary of the show is that you can really only do one thing at a time because you're stopping and then you're doing something else. I don't know. Let me know what you think. We can always chat about it, right, in the comments. But I think you're doing pretty good multitasking there with oh, I think I found it. The 7-piece brush set. I'm gonna add that to our stream.
So now we're just going to bury our cedar plank. Let it soak it in. And the reason that you want to do that is because what ends up happening, think of it as a wet wood. Wet wood, it will actually smoke more than it will actually catch on fire. And we really don't want this to catch on fire.
No, that would be bad.
So, so that allows it to smoke and then permeate into the salmon. So that gives you that smell. Anyway,
Awesome.
so
what is next?
well, so
How long does it take for the grill to
It's done.
Yeah.
Grill takes 5 minutes, and then you set it and kind of forget it, and you're done. And you can adjust the heat that's there, and we can get thermometers and gauges that you can do it, or you can do it the old-fashioned way and guess.
We don't have to guess anymore.
We do not have to.
We have all the thermometers you will ever need, so no more guessing. So food is delish.
So typically, when you go in, you've got your thick steaks, depending upon how you want them cooked or prepared.
Medium well. I like medium well.
That's true.
Do you like medium?
Medium. Yeah, medium. Medium. And then your chicken takes, because that's a little more denser. Poultry's more dense. So that takes a while. And then hamburgers are quick, and then your salmon's is fairly quick. But we'll probably stick that on an upper rack, just 1 for room, and 2 just because we want to have, it allows it to actually stay off the heat, and it'll actually steam a little bit longer.
So these go on first?
So these can go on first.
All right, let's do it. What do you need?
I need a grill.
We have that. In fact, we have 2. All right. So,
that would be helpful. So right now, we are roughly at 400. I'm going to bring that up a little bit more. What I like to do is really put a nice quick sear on them. Once we sear them, then what we'll do is we'll flip them, get a sear on that side, because what that does is it closes in all that membranes, and it allows then everything to lock in the juiciness that's inside. And after we then, when we do that, then we end up taking, thank you very much, we end up taking and slowing it down a little bit so that it cooks all the way through. So, now, by no means,
Who loves the sizzle? We all love the sizzle.
Yeah, well, you know what? You don't sell the steak, you sell the sizzle.
Nice.
You can smell it already.
Nice.
So we'll leave that in there just for a minute or so.
Let's check on the brisket too.
Oh, you're going to do what?
Look at that, $2.29. I am so proud of myself.
You're impressed, aren't you?
I'm impressed with myself because I've been able to keep that temperature. You've been out for what, an hour and a half?
A couple hours.
And I've just been gauging it by, reading the temperature. It beeps at you if it, goes outside the zone that it's supposed to be in, so you know to come and check it, and then you just adjust so that you get, that even cooking, that even temperature all the way through. Cool. All right, so steaks are going.
Steaks are going.
What's next, boss?
We need, we'll let that go for a little bit, a few minutes, and then we'll flip it over. And then once we flip it over, have we gone through what these are?
Yeah, why don't you do them justice, because I walked through a few, but full detail.
So there's a few items that are here that Polder has been great at designing and really bringing to life.
You pick one and I'll hold it.
You want to pick?
You're going to pick one.
You're going to be the Vanna White?
Yes.
Okay. So this is the Polder Light. One of the things that's really neat about this is it has these LED little beads that are all here. So these LEDs allow it to light up. And the one thing I like about it, it allows it to can get hot. It's got the clamp that's down here at the bottom, so it can clamp onto anything.
Just kidding.
When it gets hungry, it can eat. But one of the features that I really like about it is the batteries aren't stuck up here so that when the heat of the grill gets here and everything else the batteries are actually right down here. And they're tucked away back underneath. And I believe the batteries are actually included.
Yeah, they were in the package. Yep.
So now that they're away from the heat, they're away from everything, kept safe, protected, and then you get to clamp it about anywhere. It's got the gooseneck on it, so it allows it to go anywhere. But in dark, that'll light up your entire grill, which is fantastic. Right. You can move it to where you want it to be. And
Father's Day, great gift idea.
It is a great gift idea.
Especially for the guy who has everything, right? Okay.
And even if they don't have everything, that's still very cool.
Okay, what's next?
This thermometer is actually pretty cool. So look, you even left a little sticker on it. Tells you how much.
I don't even think we put the batteries in these or anything yet.
Okay, so if we can turn on, take that off. So what ends up happening is you have. Just take this off. Preparedness. So this typically will open right up. Oh, sorry. Let's see if the batteries are in there. Lock. Unlock. So this is not battery on.
Probably doesn't have the batteries in it
It
yet.
does not.
I'll
Batteries
work
on
on
it.
it.
So what ends up happening is, see, you can allow it, there's a little release here, so you can close it and keep it closed. And this is a cover so that you don't poke yourself with the probe.
Right.
But it's a nice 10-inch probe, and it allows you to then stay away from the meat, but allows you to get in there and then
And stay
look
away
at
from the heat.
the heat, excuse
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
Get into the meat quick, and it's got a quick 3-second read, which is great from a timing perspective. I love that thing, in fact. Comes in this great burgundy and also comes in this chrome. So those are two neat little items. This also has the ability that you can identify what type of meat, poultry, fish you have. So this will give you the temperature as well. It also indicates, which way do you like it, medium, rare, however.
Wait, so all that's happening inside?
Inside this.
That's so
and all you have
cool.
to do, and within 3 seconds, you just take this off, stick it in, and 3 seconds later, you get the exact heat of or
Nice.
temperature of the.
Nice.
And
I'll
it's
put some
nice.
batteries in there so we can test our steak later.
And then you just kind of close it with this. Didn't hit the
Unlock.
button. And it closes like that, very simple.
Oh, so it's not as long because it's
Right.
using the extension folding back over itself.
Right, so the
easy to
storage
store.
is easy and simple. The other thing is I like this basting. This is a nice design. It actually comes with 2 of these. The reason is because you don't really want to prepare with your raw meats and put all your basting in there and then use that same thing on your cooked meats.
Right, you don't want to
So
mix. Yeah.
you can just take this off and put this right on.
Cool.
So it's got a great little handle that's there, but now you can switch it out very easily and you don't have to worry about it. Love this little item that's there. Same thing goes here. This is a 4 different temperatures for grilling. You can see that these are called button thermometers. What you do is you can identify exactly what your temperature is, tells you where you are within the range. But the neat thing about this is maybe I'm doing pork with this one. Maybe I'm doing fish with this one. Maybe I'm doing a steak with this one. Depends on what you're doing. You have the ability now to put it in there and gauge that temperature without having to move on it.
So I like that, no cross-contamination.
Exactly, and that's really big, especially when you're talking about the different parts of meats or whatever it is. Because like I said, some are raw. You don't want to stick a raw probe into the same one that you're going to put into your done meats.
Right.
So if you're doing it like we are, like alternating what temperature you want to bring it in on or when you want to serve it, because some people want medium well, whatever it might be, you want to make sure that you have it definitely designed and scheduled out that way.
That's why he's the griller.
Yeah, well, I'm learning. It's a learning thing and an experimental thing.
Anything else?
Those are the majors.
timers.
There's some timers which are great. This one's actually a really neat timer because of the fact that not only does it time things, you can put the timer here, you can wear it as a lanyard, you can put it about anywhere you want, but it goes and you can do you can plug it in different ways. But I really like this one because it also is a stopwatch, it's a clock, it's a timer, it has everything built into it.
Something's beeping.
Something's beeping, that means our temperature is off. Let me go do it.
I got this. Okay, 224. It's supposed to be between 225 and 250. So it needs to go lower. Can you see that?
No.
And so, I mean, it needs to go higher, but the airflow needs to be less. That's what I mean. It needs to go lower, right? Less airflow?
Right, less airflow increases.
So I've just been using
Well,
this
actually,
tongue.
reverse that. You want more airflow. To
Because I want the temperature to
more
go higher.
oxygen will increase the heat.
Okay.
So you're going to increase the oxygen flow or airflow that's there, which will increase the burn. Fire or heat
Needs
increases
air.
with air.
Gotcha.
When you suffocate it, it'll die down.
You came back at just the right time.
No.
Because I would have done it in reverse.
No, you've been controlling it for 2 hours. So.
I have, but I just keep doing the opposite of whatever I did before.
And since we're out here, we'll flip these. So again, love these tongs. And we're going to use them just for the meats.
So how long is that going to take to cook? Because that's a nice thick steak.
This is a 2-inch steak. I got these specifically for this purpose. I'll just get that in there. It may have been, there we go. It's Nice
It's hot
thing
when
about
you buy
this,
the grill.
we just put these here, but now look at the way these were designed. You can just set it right like
Can you
that.
see from the side? So what happens is they have just that perfectly balanced little foot that holds them right in place. Love.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about putting it down and contaminating that
Getting
in
all
any way.
everything dirty.
Yeah,
and-
so it just
yeah,
sits just like that.
nice.
A nice feature with them. The other thing that we did before we actually started grilling is with this. This is another Polder design thing. You can get into the grates made out of stainless steel. But what they do here is they've interchanged these so you can actually take this piece off so that all your grilling scrubbing brushes can actually be, you can replace this pad over time. But this will last over the years because it's made
Cool.
out of the stainless steel.
Very cool.
Once again, very nice design, very ergonomically to handle.